Hello, welcome. Today's practice is under 15 minutes and it'll allow you to just get a little bit of movement in your day. It could be a nice one to do in the morning, or it might be, nice in the afternoon if you need a little movement break. We're going to be staying low to the ground today, so there'll be no standing poses. If you know that you like to have yoga blocks or something nearby that can help elevate the floor a little bit for you, sometimes it can be nice to sit even on a cushion. By all means, feel free to pause the video and get that. And we're going to get started. So we're going to start in our tabletop position here. Okay, so we'll get the hands directly under the shoulders and the knees underneath our hips. And we're going to take a nice big breath in and lower the belly towards the floor. And then as we exhale, we're going to curve the tailbone under, relax the head. And you're going to move with your pace of breath. So on the inhale, the belly lowers, and on the exhale, we'll round. And it's okay if your pace is a little faster or a little slower than mine. I just want you to take the time here to get a little spinal movement. Relax the head. Maybe just notice how things are feeling. We're going to go for a few more cycles of breath here with the cat-cow poses. Feel free to add a little movement forward and back, or maybe a little side to side. Let's go one more of each. And then we're going to come back to center. Next, we're going to get the big toes together, knees apart. Let's go left hand right underneath the eyes. And as you breathe in, you're going to draw your right elbow up towards the ceiling and maybe even go for a full reach up towards the sky. If it feels better, you can always have your hand back in behind at your waist, at your hip. And then on the next exhale, we're going to thread the needle. It's going to follow underneath here. We may even go all the way down to the floor if that feels comfortable. And then inhale, we'll go up. And exhale, we'll come down. You're going to give me 2 or 3 more of those. Again, moving at your own pace. It's all right if it's slower or faster than mine. Feel things out. Let's go one more breath in. Reach. And we'll come back to center. So we're going to swap hands. So the right hand will come underneath the eyes. Left arm now with the breath in. Guide the elbow up towards the ceiling. Big reach. And then on the exhale, we'll thread the needle, going as low as feels comfortable. Maybe it feels better to go here today. Maybe we need to adjust where the hand is. Maybe if it's all right, we'll go all the way down. And then again, go with your breath. Inhale up. One side may feel different than the other, so that can always be something just to make note of. And notice if the breath is starting to become shallow or if we're holding the breath. Let's go one more inhale as we reach. And then we'll come back to center. All right. We're going to shift the weight back now so that we're heading towards our heels. We're going to extend the arms out in front. Take a moment there to inhale and see if we can let the belly expand against the thighs. And we'll go for a big exhale, curving the tailbone down towards the floor. On the next breath in, we're going to start to round. So we'll curve that spine up. We'll come forward, and we're just going to feel things out to see where it feels good to go. Maybe this is as far as feels nice for you. Maybe it feels better. We can extend a little further. Maybe we want to come down to our elbows, and we want to go here. We're just going to take a moment, all right, find some length for the spine. And then on the exhale, we're going to start to press ourselves back. So either on the forearms or on the hands, and we'll shift back to our to our child's pose. Not in downward facing dog yet. Let's do that again. So rounding forward, feet can come apart. We'll find some length. Your choice if we want to go onto the forearms. And then we will come back. And now that we've started to find that flow, let's go again, your own pace, your breath. If we are going to stick with the forearms, then I would come forward and lengthen. And then we would come back, press onto the hands and find the child's pose. All right. Next, we're going to come back into our tabletop and we're going to then tuck the toes under. This is going to fire up a little bit of core action here. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to tuck the toes. You're going to hover those knees up off the ground. Feel everything start to kick in. Maybe, muscles are shaking. That's a good thing. We're waking things up. Big breath in here and then exhale. We can release. Give that a moment. Maybe just circle out the wrists. While we're circling out the wrists, we can get a little stretch for the soles of our feet. So if we can, try and stay up on the toes, circle those wrists, okay? If it gets to a point where it feels too much for the feet, just untuck. That's all good. But give it a try because sometimes it can be quite an intense sensation because we're not often having our feet go this way. So give it a moment, try it out, test the waters. And then we will release that. We're going to come back. We're going to place the hands out in front. So make sure the pointer fingers are pointing towards the top of the mat. Toes tuck again, and we're going to lift those hips up. And now we're in our downward facing dog, and we're going to pedal the heels out. So you might bend one knee, press the opposite heel towards the floor, and then go for the opposite side. Deep breaths. If this is too much at any point, find that child's pose again. Okay? Really keep trying to press down in every single knuckle of your finger. Try and relax the head. Take a moment to press both heels down as the hips lift up. Pushing away, pressing into all points of the hands, all the fingers. And then we're going to start to shift the weight forward. We'll find a plank pose. We can be on the toes. We can be on the knees. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then we're going to bring one foot up to find our lunge, okay? If you need, and feel free to have the back knee down. If you need to use your hands to help bring that foot up, go for it. But we're going to be here in our lunge position. You might need a second to kind of adjust, see how things feel. This is where maybe having some yoga blocks can help, placing your hands on top, or if you've got a little shelf like I have here nearby to help give you a bit of support. But we're going to stay here for a good few breaths, okay? So you've got options. You can keep the hands down. You can have them on top of blocks or books or something like that. Or you can start to bring the body up. If we're bringing the body up, I want you to think about tucking the tailbone under, okay? We might shift forward a little bit. Options to keep the hands on the hips. Maybe we go for a reach. We're going to go 2 more cycles of breath. So an inhale and an exhale. Maybe try and relax the shoulders. If you've picked a variation of this and you want to switch it, by all means, go for it. But we're going to go 1 more breath in, 1 more breath out. On your next exhale, let's start to shift the hips back, flex your front toes, okay? Inhaling, we'll come forward. Exhaling, we'll come back. Again, this might work if you've got something to hold on to. I might show you kind of here. Or actually, I have even something lower. So I'm holding here, and you might just hold on to that for a bit of support as we go forward and back. Okay? 1 more of those. And then we are going to come back to either our plank, okay, or tabletop. We're going to really try and lower towards the floor as slowly as we can, keeping the elbows tucked in. Maybe you want to add that little cobra pose. That feels good, either on the forearms or on the hands. Okay. And then on the next exhale, we're either going to find our child's pose or our downward facing dog. Take a big cycle of breath, a big inhale, a big exhale. And then we're going to go through that on the other side. So we'll come forward. We'll bring the leg up. If you need to help, use your hands to help get it up there. And then take a moment, feel things out. Do we have any, does something feel tighter or more stiff on one side compared to the other. You've got options now if we want to bring the body up. Let's think about tucking the tailbone under, potentially shifting forward with the weight, with the hips. Option to reach the arms up. And we breathe. Okay? I'm working up a sweat. Hopefully you guys are too. But it's warm in here. Got the sun beating in, which is lovely. Get that out of the way. Okay, so we're either hands on the floor, hands on blocks. We might be up. We're going to take one more cycle of inhale and exhale. And then on your next exhale, the hips will come back. We'll flex the front foot. Hands again can be on the ground. They might be on for support. And we're going to come forward. We're going to come back. All right, take your time with it. Go at a pace that feels good for you. If anything, we need to, shift around, change where the front foot is. If it's uncomfortable for the back knee, you can get a pillow or a blanket put underneath. Let's go one more time. And then we're going to come back in either to your tabletop or to your plank. We're going to lower down, try and lower chest and hips together on the toes or the knees. Find your cobra either on the forearms or on your hands. And then last one here, we're going to go into our child's pose and we're going to take a little rest. Thinking about expanding the breath even into the back body, into the rib cage, into the stomach. Relaxing the head right on the floor. And then we can slowly start to bring that up. Let's just make our way into a seat. Okay. All right, we're just going to get a little side bend here to finish. So we'll go hand on the floor. Big reach up towards the ceiling. So try and grow a little bit taller. And then when we're ready, we'll exhale and bring that over. You might, add a little adjustment for the neck if you want to look up or down. Make sure we're breathing. Stretch through the fingers and we'll bring that up. If it's more comfortable to sit on top of something, feel free to pause, grab a pillow, something to sit on, but we're going to go for the same thing on the other side. Big reach, grow a little taller, and then we'll exhale as we bring it over. Check in with the neck. Maybe we look up, maybe we look down. Expanding through the side body and staying lifted on the side that we're reaching over onto. And then we'll slowly bring that back. Now we're going to go for a little twist. So we'll reach opposite hand over towards the opposite knee. The other hand comes in behind. Every time we inhale, can we find a little length? Exhale, a little bit more of a twist. Let's take 3 deep breaths there. And then on the next one, we'll come back through center. Opposite hand reaches over to the other side. The other hand is in behind you. Big lift up on the inhale. And then on the exhale, maybe we twist a little more. Let's get 3 big cycles of breath. And then we will come back to center. Great stuff. We're going to bring the palms together. Maybe roll the shoulders back and down. Take a moment just to, check in with the body, see how we're feeling. Fair play for, taking this time for you. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of energy. Either you're ready to go for the day or it gave you a bit of a break, and you can get back feeling energized and a little bit looser. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me.